So now in this video, we're going to use the 2N7000. This is an N-channel MOSFET. So it is enhancement mode, which means it's normally off, but with the proper signal, you can turn it on. So now, we are going to wire it up as a switch for the most part. We might as well put the transistor in first. So the pin layout for this one, I always check the data sheet for every component you use, but flat side facing us, we have the source to the left, the gate to the middle, and the drain to the right. So current flows through this component, drain to source, positive to negative. If you want to think of electrons flow that way, negative, positive, but usually we think positive to negative. So the drain anyways has to be towards the more positive side of the circuit, and the source towards the more negative side of the circuit. So that's the same as the JFET we've been looking at lately, except for the pin layout is different. So the source we put to the negative there, and on the drain side we're going to put an LED because it makes it so you can see the current flows pretty nicely. So the short lead, the cathode, goes towards the more negative side, so that goes to the drain of the transistor. Anode is up here, and we're going to use a 2.2 kilo ohm 2200 ohm resistor to protect the LED, and so it's going to the anode of the LED now, the long lead, and we might go up to 15 volts with this, and so that will be enough to protect the LED and transistor from 15 volts. So now zooming back, you can see that we have the transistor is off, and normally it is off. We can give it a brief signal. Let's go to the positive jumper there, or the positive rail there with the jumper, and just touch the gate briefly with the red jumper there, and I accidentally might have short-circuited this. I started going into that row there, so be careful when you do this. I have my power supply, the bench power supply, set to limit less than 1 amp of current, so even if I short-circuit, it's less than 1 amp. But in any case, there we go. And I'm watching this through the camera, so my perception's off a little bit. But in any case, we gave a positive signal. You can see the LED is on, and it's staying on. So that's one interesting thing about this. It doesn't need current for the most part. A brief amount of current, think of charging a capacitor, flows, but then the charge stays as long as there is no path for it to discharge anywhere. That's a way to look at it. Now we will go to the negative jumper, and I will touch it there. Now you can see it goes off and it stays off. So again, there's really no current flow going through other than during the sudden change right there. So when you change voltage across it, a very little bit changes until the voltage equalizes. So pretty much instantly right here. So that is the basic principle for this working as a switch. So you don't need current, but it does respond to voltage. We are going to the rail voltages. So now I also have a trim pot here. So now with the trim pot, we can get a variable amount of voltage. So I'm going to push that over there. This is the middle pin, the gate right there. You can see that the LED came on. And this is a way I like to test out transistors to get a better feel of how they work. So as I said, this does not depend on current like a bipolar junction transistor. You don't have to worry about current. If you end up having current going through the gate to either the source or the drain, you probably destroyed the component. As I said, it just kind of briefly charges like a little capacitor or discharges like a little capacitor as far as the gate is concerned, but that's it. So in any case, they probably are sensitive to static electricity, so you got to be careful of high voltage. But in any case, we go more positive, and it looks like it probably saturates somewhere around there or something. Looks like that's about as bright as the LED gets. So that's about 2.5 volts. This is 5 volts. And you can see it suddenly turns off there. So we have a range of values where it looks like it's completely off, and then a wide range of values where it is completely on. So this makes for a very good switch right here. You can see it's not amplifying the voltage we're giving it directly, but it does have a range. So I don't do circuits like that right now. Hopefully I will in the future, but the switch circuit is very valuable. So I'm going to yank this jumper here, and we are going to use this jumper to connect this switch over to there, because this is a common use for the transistor, the setup we have here. So now we got it angled here to see it a little better. I will connect the switch. So the switch is all wired up right now as we're going to need it. So I'll discuss that after we make the connection. So we come down here. Now you can see the LED goes off, and it stays off. And that's due to this resistor here. So what this is the bottom of the switch is always connected. These two pins are always connected. So now this is all basically one row. The top two pins also are always connected, so that's like one row. They are separated top to bottom. So we have the resistor here. It's a 100,000 ohm resistor, 100 kilo ohm resistor, and it's just basically holding the voltage to ground, because remember, the gate does not let current pass through it. Just brief changes while the voltage is changing across it. So we press the switch here. You can see the jumper up here goes to the positive rail, and that goes to the top pin. And now you can see that the transistor turns on. So it's saturated now. It's conducting as well as it can. The LED is not very bright because we're using 5 volts at the power supply, and that's a 2,200 ohm resistor. I'll put it up to 15 ohms, and I still don't think it's going to be terribly bright, but a lower value resistor would get too hot. But there you can see it's quite a bit brighter at 15 ohms. But it's a switch. So this is a great switch because you can give it a weak electrical signal. As I said, this is a 100,000 ohm resistor, and so it's a weak negative signal, but still it's strong enough for this transistor. It replies to really weak signals. You don't really waste any current for the most part, and to turn it on or off, unlike a bipolar junction transistor where you need significant amounts of current. So that's one reason why MOSFETs are used a lot, especially in switching circuits. So they you got to get power ones though if you have a high power demand circuit. So you got to make sure you look at the power rating, the current rating, and the voltage ratings and all that. But for this video, it is just a brief demonstration to show how this circuit works, commonly used as a switch. So that is what we are focused on right now. So in any case, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and watch my other videos please. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.